What up, YouTube? This is the Verbal Architect coming back at you for the next installment of Mixing Tips 101 for beginners. I was just kind of going around YouTube and I saw someone comment on another Pro Tools mixing tip video, and they asked how you get everything to blend once you bring the vocals into the beat. So you have the beat that you import, and then you record your vocals, and then you just can't get those to blend right, because usually the beat overpowers the vocals and all of that. But the process of mixing is what does all that. You're kind of taking the ball of clay and you're molding it into what you want it to be. So putting an EQ on all your vocals, putting compression on your vocals, just those two things are going to bring your vocals up in the mix already. So pop a compressor on your vocal chain, pop a EQ on your vocal chain, EQ it accordingly, and compress it accordingly to whatever the vocalist sounds like, and that in itself will bring your vocals way up into the mix. Because almost every session I have, I bring the beat in, then I record the vocals. The vocals are always drowned out in the beginning, but that's what the process of mixing is gonna do with this. You're gonna bring the vocals up into the mix where you want them. You want to put those vocals in front of the beat. You want to have your own little spot for those vocals. Even the main verse compared to the ad-libs, you want those both sets of vocals to have their own little spot in the mix. Have a separate EQ for your main verse, your unders, your ad-libs, just so you can separate everything. Everything has its own spot. And then whatever you bring up in EQ for vocals, bring down in EQ for the beat. Not too much EQ in the beat, because you'll take out too much of the beat. But usually when I get beats, they're already all tracked out, and I just get the one track for the beat, so I have to work with whatever the producers give me. And the beats are always different levels, always different EQs. So your mixing your vocals accordingly is always going to be different. It's always going to be a challenge. What else? My vocal chain also includes a de-esser, just to get the pops and the S's out of my vocals. I have a slight reverb on at about 5-10%, a deverb, and I also have a chorus modulation that I usually always use on vocals just to fill them out. But all the panning, all the EQ, all the volume that you set for your mix, that's all what brings your vocals up into the mix. It's not going to be a quick experience. It's going to take a while. You gotta really mold those vocals to whatever beat you get. Like I said, I always get a different beat. It always has different EQs. Always needs different compression. And you don't always want to put a compressor on your beat either. Everybody always says put a compressor on your beat, but sometimes your beat is fine how you get it. If it's peaking at good levels and not clipping, then you're good. But you really just gotta mold your song together. You gotta use the panning, the volume, all your effects together in the mixing process to bring your vocals up in the mix, to get that mold. Like I said, I use the ball of clay thing. It explains it perfectly. You just got a ball of clay, and your artist or your client wants it to sound like something, and you got to mold it how they want it. Or if it's your song, you got to mold it how you want it. So just to make that blend, it takes a while. You got to really blend stuff. You got to use the compression and the EQ to bring up your vocals, and I guess that's all I got to say. Hope that helps out the question, the comment that I found. Visit us at undergroundvisionaries.com for the Underground Visionaries crew, or check out Verbal Architect Music at myspace.com/theverbalarchitect. Peace out.